Okay, folks, I want to call the Hopkinton Town Council meeting of February 18th, 2014 to order with a moment of silent meditation and salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. First on our agenda is the... Oh, that's right. Yes, that would be lovely.
I move that we reconvene as a council and seal the executive session minutes. Second.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to think as it pertains to litigation. Right.
Okay, motion made, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, first item on our agenda is the consent agenda. Accept the following report. Town Clerk, approve abatements submitted by the Tax Assessor, approve refunds submitted by the Tax Collector.
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay, motion made, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, first public forum. Anyone out in the audience wishing to be heard? Okay. Next, under old business, is to appoint the town moderator to fill the vacancy for the 2014 Chariho District Financial Meeting and 2014 Hopkinton Financial Town Assembly, if necessary. Well, we met, we interviewed our three candidates. We seem to be somewhat deadlocked, I guess. There is, I guess, one, I was talking to the clerk, Lisa, there's one more meeting we could have, I guess, if we wanted to make a decision. I'm not sure what the heck to do here. You know, it's, if we don't make a decision, I think Richmond's going to appoint someone to fill our spot.
My feeling is if we can't make a decision, we're not going to be able to make one in 2 weeks either.
Sylvia, I would entertain a motion from you.
I'll move that we appoint Sylvia Stanley as moderator.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Okay.
And just because of her experience as she has been a moderator, she's been on the school committee, she worked for the school department years ago, she took minutes, I mean, she's had a wealth of personal history in business and she even worked with the superintendent. You know, it was such a long list of things, but she was a moderator and she was on the school committee, so she's got that background. Not to diminish the other candidates, though. So if we do appoint anybody tonight, or we're able to appoint somebody, I would urge the other two to consider some boards and commissions.
Absolutely.
Because we've got a lot that needs to be done.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Very seriously.
So if we don't make an appointment anyway.
And can I just add, if you're interested in any other position, and other positions that certainly are more than 1 or 2 nights a year, you know, there might be one night a month. You might have a special meeting more than that, but it's usually one night a month for whether it's a board or a commission, whether it's a major one like a zoning or the planning, or it's a more minor one like Conservation Commission. Anything helps the town, and you really feel a part of the town. I've been on a couple, and you really feel good about yourself. So believe me, we wouldn't be asking you this if we didn't think that you were very capable of serving very well for the town on something on a higher plane than the moderator's position. So that's why we're approaching this. Please see Lisa if you're interested. Either one of you interested. Lisa knows, I believe, right, Lisa? I'm speaking out of turn here, but you know all the openings, right?
I could list a few right now.
By the way, the housing committee, they have no quorum now. They've lost members.
So,
Affordable Housing Department, Conservation Commission, Planning Board, Recreation Commission.
I mean, take your choice. So we have openings, and we certainly love to have you on them. Anyways, that's all I have to say.
Okay, thanks, David.
Mr. President,
Yes, Scott.
it's my belief that Beverly Kenny is the moderator of the town of Hopkinton, and I base that on my understanding of the law. The law specifically states when you take an oath of office that you serve until another is engaged in your room or you're discharged therefrom. 2 offices, the Director of Public Welfare and the town moderator's position, the Board of Canvassers did not certify any person as winning. And I think the council has been remiss not to clarify who is the true occupants of that office. Mrs. Kenny has not resigned. She hasn't been discharged from her office. I did call her, and last year she said she wasn't contacted. and my impression talking to her is she'd be willing to serve. I thought she was going to call Lisa, but she did not. I'm a Republican, Mrs. Kenny is a Democrat, so I have no partisan reason to do this, but I do believe that we are a nation of laws, and I just want to read
Scott, we already did that.
We did
That's
that
fine.
last-
We know your position very well.
So I don't want to take anything away from any of the candidates, but as a matter of principle, I'm going to vote no. Thank you.
Okay. You know, I wanted to see some of the newer folks in town, I guess, take part in the process, so that's,
That's a discussion after the next motion.
oh, okay. All right.
Can call for a vote.
Yeah, I guess we'll call for a vote. We have a motion for Sylvia Stanley in a second. And any other cast, any votes for Sylvia Stanley? No? Okay. 2 votes?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Barbara?
Nay.
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 Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Amy Williams as moderator for the Chariho and the Hopkinton budgets. I believe that we have had 3 wonderful candidates. I am very happy with all of them. I agree with Sylvia and David that Mrs. Kenny was, a lovely woman. She has been in town for a very long time, but I am very interested in getting some of the younger members of town involved in town politics, in town moderation, in Chariho school committees, on all of the committees. I believe Ms. Williams will be a strong, verbal, calm person in a very difficult situation. These meetings can become quite difficult. I think she has the knowledge. I think she's a PhD in chemistry. She can certainly learn Robert's Rules of Order in order to keep people in line. I think it is such a pleasure to have some of the younger members of our town come forward and want to be part of town. And I really did think Mrs. Kenny was marvelous. I thought she was a wonderful woman, but if we don't start encouraging our town citizens to come forward and serve, I think it's the death of a town. I mean, I think it's the way civilization progresses, and I think she would be a wonderful, strong, verbal, calm, pleasant woman who can run these meetings, and which she would run them with courtesy and respect. And I am willing to, and I know she has done that in very contentious meetings in the business community. And we need new people. We need new ideas and new concerns. So I am very strongly suggesting that we vote for Ms. Williams and allow our citizens to move forward. That's all.
Okay. And, yeah, I agree. I want to second Barbara's motion for Ms. Williams, hence the deadlock, because Scott's not voting, so.
It's not necessarily.
Who seconded the motion, by the way?
I did.
Oh, I thought,
Barbara's?
Yes, I don't know if the council president can second.
Oh, it's a good question.
You can give your,
can't.
you can give your
Well,
gavel away.
There's no second.
And go back.
If there's no second.
Oh, okay.
are we
You can give
are
your
we open
gavel
for
to the
discussion?
vice president.
Oh, sure.
Take a second, and then take it back.
I don't want
We've done it
Richmond
before.
taking over the moderator's job. I really don't. And I think both Catherine and Amy and Sylvia would be, any one of them would be wonderful. But I'm not going to go down to a deadlock here, personally, I'm not going down to a deadlock here and allow Richmond to take it over. I just don't want to give them that opportunity.
Okay.
So, with that, I'll second your motion.
Thank you.
We have a motion made and seconded. Take a vote?
Can I comment?
Yeah.
What I'm willing to do, we have one more council meeting,
Right.
and I'd be willing to support a candidate if the council was agreeable to let Beverly Kenny be the moderator, and if she declines, that the other person would be substituted. I will support something like that. But out of convictions of my beliefs about the law, I have to stand to it, but I'm willing to be flexible on that. But we still have one more meeting.
It's not a motion.
Yes,
If I
Lisa.
could put in my 2 cents, you're not going to want to hear from me. If I was the person who was in charge of preparing for the meeting, the last thing I would want to do is be left the day before not knowing who's going to be serving as moderator. And I'm speaking of the superintendent's assistant, we're leaving her in the lurch.
In the lurch.
And I think that's not appropriate to do to anybody who's trying to prepare for a meeting. Because even if you did appoint somebody as late as Monday the 3rd, that very next day, the individual has to come up to par with everything. The school district would have to make special arrangements to get the material to the person, and that's my concern.
Okay.
My
Well, hold on, Scott. David made a second to Barbara's motion, and then we can take a vote on Amy. Right?
Yes.
Mr. President, I think that we have a lot of budget workshops, so we could have a quick meeting.
This is not part of the motion. The
Well, he has a
discussion is
right
not
to his
part of the
opinion.
Yeah, that's a good point, Scott.
We can always
But
have a
I'll-
special meeting at one of our budget hearings,
But anyway,
Okay, so,
budget meetings.
so let's take a vote here and get this moving.
no.
Okay, so no for Amy from Sylvia?
No.
Okay, Scott, yes for Frank?
Yes.
Abstain.
Okay. All right, so we got 2 yeses, 1 abstention.
Okay.
So,
I think they're all qualified. I
agenda
really do.
item.
I think you're all qualified.
okay. Well,
Sorry,
Anyway.
nothing happened, no one's getting appointed.
Is that right?
Right,
just-
2 to 1 vote.
that's right, that's,
There's 2 to 2, 1 abstention.
You abstained.
What did you do?
abstained. He said no.
You said no.
No.
whatever, that's
gotta be
life. We
intellectually
made our
consistent.
decisions, so, you know.
So what now?
I mean, the fellow that did it last time,
David,
Pat, thank you, Pat. He's fine, you know,
that the only
he'll do a
gentleman?
good
I'm
meeting.
not gonna, you know,
You know.
I'm gonna make a motion to have, please, Amy Williams be our moderator.
Second.
Excuse me, we have to follow.
Robert's Rules of Order, and we've already
We've already
voted.
dispensed with a motion, so I think, and it was decided. I think you have to just step back and wait a minute and make sure that you're following the proper
Protocol.
procedure. But you didn't appoint anyone, either
No.
way. I don't know, I think what has to happen is that the person who,
Oh, right,
it's bringing it back.
right, the person that has to bring it back,
Has
yeah,
to bring
somebody
it
on the
back.
no side,
Right.
right.
The one who
That's right, I
voted-
forgot about that,
You have
yeah.
to bring it back. Somebody who voted in opposition to it has to bring it back. Now, I don't know if abstention
I'm not gonna bring it back.
qualifies as voting
Does an
or
abstention,
not.
all right, so does an abstention qualify?
So
That's
it
a
would
good
have to
question.
be Counselor Hurst or Counselor Thompson, I think, that would have to bring it back up again. Is that
I just don't want you from taking it
Yeah,
over.
I'm not bringing it back.
I'd like to make a motion that Beverly Kenny be asked to moderate the Chariho District meeting, and if she declines, that Sylvia Stanley be asked.
Oh, that's interesting.
I move that, okay, let me restate my motion. I move that the town clerk inquire if Beverly Kenny is willing to be moderator of the Chariho District meeting, and if she declines, Sylvia Stanley be appointed the moderator for that meeting. That's my motion.
Second,
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
aye.
Nay?
Nay.
Nay.
Okay.
Okay,
That motion fails, okay. So we're back to square one. Looks like
No one's
no one's
appointed.
appointed, okay.
So Counselor Hurst brought up is that you do have budget workshops.
Correct.
You could potentially put something on for the 24th, your agenda tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's right.
I feel very strongly about leaving the Chariho School District in the lurch, because
Oh,
even
yeah.
if no one is available from Charleston, suppose this happens again
Yeah.
in 2 weeks, you can't leave the school district without a moderator.
No, that's fine.
It's
That's
over
unprofessional.
tonight. They'll
Right,
have,
right.
we have to send them a letter that we couldn't come to a decision, and they'll deal accordingly.
Mr. President,
What a shame.
if I'm within order, I make a motion that Beverly Kenny be asked to moderate the Chariho District meeting, and if she declines, that Amy Williams be appointed in her stead for that meeting.
All right,
That's
I'm
crazy.
flexible, it's just an intellectual thing with me.
all right. So Scott brought it up again, made a motion. Lisa?
To ask Beverly Kenny
Yeah,
to
she's
moderate
willing
the
to do it.
Chariho District meeting.
And the
She's not
financial.
available.
declines.
or declines that you appoint Amy Williams to fill it.
Yes, that's my new motion.
All right. Motion made. Is
I'm
there a
trying to
second?
be flexible here.
Do you want to put a time limit on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume she's going to call it tomorrow.
Yeah, I want to find out if there's, I want to find out if there's a second to that motion. Is there a second to Scott's motion?
We got to get three, I can't believe we got three viable people here, and we can't get this thing done. I'll just second it just to get it on the table.
Motion made and seconded. Sylvia?
No.
Okay.
I'm a no. I'm not, our moderator, we have not had, Beverly has not been the moderator for the last meeting or two that we have had and needed one. She has not been here. She has done good work for this town. She has served this town well, but it is time that we move forward. It is time we use our citizens, not just the ones who've been here forever, but new ones who have come to this town to live here and be viable, wonderful members and citizens of Hopkinton. It is time.
I'm sorry. When you're finished.
All right, motion made.
I'd like to comment.
Can I comment?
Second, hold on, we have two more votes left. I say no too. Okay, so that motion fails.
I'll say yes to that motion.
What?
All right,
You-
so
Hold on.
far,
You
we
made the
have
motion.
opposed, we're doing the opposed first, we have Counselor
Look at the
Thompson,
silly.
Counselor Husband, Counselor Lane Dolphin. Opposed.
And Barbara is too.
Counselor
Yeah.
Papala.
And I said yes to
And
Sylvia.
Counselor in favor.
I have to say that just because somebody has gray hair doesn't mean they're not qualified to bring our town into the future. This is ridiculous. They bring maturity and experience.
No one's
saying that.
No one's saying
so,
that. No one has said
someone is
that.
saying that.
No,
And
I am
so
not saying that.
I would
Hold
like
on,
to
guys.
finish. I would like
Hold
to
on.
finish. We talk about new blood. Well, we've had new blood, and we've had 20-something, though you're not 20-something. I'm sure you'd love to be. This has got nothing to do with you. This is the past. And we had a young man that was the moderator of the town, and things are different now. We don't have town financial meetings that were the way they used to be in the 90s and earlier. But because the moderator didn't know what he was doing, the town closed down because he allowed the meeting to adjourn. So I go for maturity and the best experience. And if somebody's got gray hair or they have a crew cut and they're 20 years old, if they're mature and they got experience, they're the person for me. There's nothing wrong with voting for somebody that's lived in town for 50 years or grew up here. That's an asset.
Fine.
So
Yep, your
that's
point-
my comment.
point's well made.
Thank
Point's
you.
well well.
I won't repeat.
Mr. President, all I can say is that I believe in observing the law, and the duly qualified moderator, in my view, is Beverly Kenny, and I tried to work. I'm sure Amy Williams, I just met the lady tonight, seems to be very articulate, would probably do a credible job.
Catherine's in the audience too.
I'm sorry for not mentioning, well, you're not part of the motion, but I say, and
Thank God.
She's here too.
See what can happen at meetings?
no, I told Catherine about she knows about my feelings about this legal thing, and I said I'd consider appointing to a board. So I already said that, a commission.
I'm going to take the floor now. I think it's obvious we've been all over the gamut on this issue. I think what we might do is, I'd like Lisa's idea about maybe sticking it in a budget session and coming up with a solution to this.
That was my idea.
Doesn't
No, it
matter.
doesn't matter. Oh, okay, so it doesn't matter, Scott. Someone's idea, other than mine. And I think we can stick it in a budget session on the 24th, and I just don't want it to go to Richmond. So I think we can come up with a conclusion and see all sides. It's a very quick decision process for us. We've got great candidates, and I think we can make a decision based on the merits of everyone that we've met tonight. So I think we'll do that. We're obviously hopelessly deadlocked tonight, and I'd like to just proceed with the agenda.
So are you going to be starting your meeting on the 24th earlier? It starts at 6:30 right now.
6:15.
6:15.
Yeah. We'll have time to think about it.
So it'll be special council meeting just
Yeah.
for that one
Yeah.
item. Okay.
Okay. I think, because we're making quick decisions, we're trying to satisfy everybody and the candidates as well. We'll have time to digest everything and then make a decision, hopefully.
No, we won't.
Frank, can I just address,
Be positive.
can I just address the two women?
Yes.
Seriously, please apply for another position also, all right? Even if one of you become moderator, it's only a couple of nights. We'd much rather see more of you, you know, and your experience and your maturity and your love of the town on another committee or board. So please don't feel, oh, I don't have to do anything more. Please join us.
Or the council.
Thanks, Dave. I don't think they want that.
No.
Anyway, so that's it for that issue. Next, under new business is to consider scheduling a joint town council planning board workshop. I guess, Lisa, do we have, some dates, I guess, right, tentative?
Right, well, you're through mid-March, you have to complete your budget workshop.
Right.
So I believe their memorandum have with you, that provided you with a number of dates, and I think they were targeting trying to keep till Mondays.
Okay.
So in April,
So,
Yeah, it's like, when is our, yeah,
because
when
we're
do we
really
finish?
scheduled- Yes, so there's, in March, there are 2 extra Mondays. There's Monday the 24th, Monday the 31st,
March?
Oh, you get the page.
April 14th, April 28th, those are alternate Mondays.
How many sessions do we have to have, you think?
Oh, they'll
You
be,
saw the material,
yeah.
you know,
Oh,
there'll be multiple.
Multiple.
It'll go into the summer, no doubt.
so.
Why don't we hit for April, because we'll finish
Okay.
up on other things.
yeah.
Okay.
And give us.
So what do we have available, Lisa,
Gotta
for
read all
April?
that
In
stuff.
April, it's alternating, the off-week Mondays are April 14th, April 28th.
I'd like the 28th, because I usually have a meeting on the second Monday.
Okay, well, let's start on the 28th,
28th,
and
okay.
why don't we pick another date so they'll have a couple,
Yeah.
now that we're doing
And
I
it.
think
so-
they agreed on a few dates anyway, as I recall, Richard.
Yeah, I went out to a couple in May.
Yeah, so May 12th,
Well, May 12th, Al is not available. I think the chairman should be present. for
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
okay, so May 26th.
Yeah,
26th is Memorial Day.
oops.
What about the 19th? Is that us? Is that us?
That's
Your
us.
That's us.
regular scheduled council meeting.
what if we began in March? Because, well, the reason I'm saying is we have the 24th and the 31st in March, right at the end of March.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then we could do.
March
the-
24th, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
March
that's a good idea, yeah.
24th. And then we could go into April, where you wanted it on
28th,
the 28th.
and then you get one in May,
Yeah.
May 26th. No, that's.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah, we'd have to jump to June.
June 2nd and 9th. June 2nd is your regular council meeting, so there's
The
June
9th
9th
and
and June
16th.
23.
How about the 9th? Because we should have some continuity on this. It's a huge piece of document.
You got those? That was that 3
And then
dates?
March 24th, April 28th, June 9th.
Yeah.
Okay, March 24th,
April 28th,
April 28th, yeah?
June 9th.
June 9th.
Okay. All right.
And what would the date, when do we have our town referendum? That's
June 10.
June 10.
Okay.
So that, I don't know if that's a good idea, back to back like that, because they're both very important, so that wouldn't be a good date. Let's move that
Move it
June
back
one
up.
out.
June 23rd.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
all right. That would be better,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Setting up the meeting.
Okay. So we got some dates, that's good, thank you.
Good.
All right. Next under new business is to discuss and consider approving a bid award for the Elgin Pelican Street Sweeper solicited by DPW and submitted by C.N. Wood Incorporated of Woburn, Mass. in the amount of $181,693.78, funded through the town's capital improvement plan. Bill McGarry, you want to take it from here?
As you're well aware from the packet, we went out to bid, and we advertised publicly in the Providence Journal. We received 2 bids on January 23rd. The first one was submitted by C.N. Wood, Inc., Woburn, Mass., for a Elgin Pelican machine that, including the financing, was $181,693.78. The second bid was lower. It was from W.H. Rose, Inc., for a Global 3 machine, and that came in at $159,186.16. But we turned it over to DPW for a review and evaluation of the bids, and they recommended that we go with a higher bid, even though it was $22,507 higher, that the lower bid, the less expensive street sweeper, did not meet the town's bid specifications in several important areas, did not have a proven track record in Rhode Island or nearby, and there also existed concerns about the availability of parts and technical service in the months and the years ahead, and I'll kick it right over to Tim.
DPW Director Tim Teft. Okay. And David, do you have any questions for Tim regarding the bid?
Not for Tim, but maybe for Bill. Bill, for the public's sake, would you explain how we're going to finance that over the ensuing years?
It's going to be financed over 3.5 years. There is, I think, $38,000 in the current budget, $63,000 in next fiscal year's budget. That would be FY16. $60,000 in FY17, and then it would be, we would need an additional
The lesser amount, yeah.
$22,507 in that third fiscal year out that we would have to add. So it wouldn't impact the upcoming budget, if that's it.
Tim, how long could we expect this street sweeper to last? 20 years. Ballpark, right? Does that be the year?
I would say 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
That's what we've got to get out of it, it's all just to it.
Sure.
If I may, the Elgin Pelican has been around, and to be honest, the salesman for the Global told us the other day that, yeah, they've been around for 100 years, they're going to have their anniversary next year, so literally, they have been around for 100 years. And he said, but they haven't changed anything on them. That's a good selling point to me, too, if you don't change something, if it ain't broken. The Global is just, it's changed constantly. It used to be a Johnson. It was sold a couple of years ago. And there's, like it says in the paperwork, there's only one new machine around here. It lists that there's 25 Elgins, but I know there's more than that. That's just the newer ones. And to me, you want a machine that's going to last. The other one may, but the Elgin has. And that's why I think it's more money. I understand that, and it's a safer machine because, like I said, you can see where you're driving, and the other one, everything is behind you. You can't see. And if you need to back up, and you can always look at the back of the Elgin, but the whole machine is behind you on the other one. And it's dangerous. And, we had a lot of the twisted back roads. I don't have to tell you guys that. And it's much safer, I think. And I think it's been around, and it should be around for years. That's why I like that one machine.
I think the telling thing is that this Elgin is really so far above the Global. It seems that there was only one Global and the rest were all Elgins. I think that says a lot right there.
Can I make a motion?
Actually, I have a couple of questions.
Oh, okay.
Barbara, do you have anything for Tim?
I took a look at it too. I read the specifications. I'm really pleased with what you've done to the specification. I'm glad that you have things that protect from limbs. I like the idea that you can see out the front. I do understand seeing out the back because my neighborhood's full of children and you never find one of them. I like the information that you gave us on the radiator and the dust and the maintenance efforts too, because I think the maintenance is just as important. I also would have approved the Elgin. I think that was a really wise choice, and especially since there are so many and there's some very good maintenance issues. My concern on the Global too is that many of the places the Global were cities, and a city has a different kind of traction, has more people and things moving around it, which may be why they like that particular style, but most of those were, I think, in cities, not in country areas where we have different needs. So I really appreciated the work, and I appreciated your letter explaining the differences. That was just very well written, and I appreciated it.
Tim, you did a fantastic job on this
Really great.
memorandum. It's not often we get down to the nitty-gritty with the, the cleaning aspect and man hours and going into all the different aspects that made your case to, because I can't remember, at least the 3 years or 4 years I've been on the council, or affiliated with the council, that we've ever chose a higher bid. It's always been the lower one, but your argument's very compelling. It makes sense, and I think it's for safety reasons mainly, too. It makes real sense, and I appreciate you being honest and upfront with that regarding that. So I'm all for the Elgin.
Just one final remark. the reval thing was, we went with a higher bid because they didn't have the legal thing. I
Oh,
remember
you're right,
that.
Scott, you're right.
The other thing is that really impressed me was the fact that, and I'd like to say to people in the audience and the viewers, that Global didn't even follow the RFP, as I understand it. They didn't even meet the criteria, which, I mean, if you're going to be serious about bidding, you would at least try to meet the specifications of the people asking for bids.
And they put in a whole list, of a checklist of, whether you're supposed to comply or not, and it wasn't filled out. All they did was compare it to the other one. They never really even filled out whether or not they had it, but.
Maybe
I
they'd
didn't-
prefer an Elgin too.
The only question I had further, if you guys don't mind, did you consider if it's worth it to do the 5-year extended warranty with that or not? I know it wasn't in
I
the
saw
price.
that too, yeah.
I don't see anything major happening within the 5 years, so I really don't
Okay.
see the reason.
So you don't think it's worth spending the time?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, usually your first 5 years, if you're going to have a problem, generally, it'll be in like your first year, you get that
Oh,
worked
okay.
out. Generally, if you get a car, it doesn't take long before you have a problem, you're going to get it
Does it have
fixed.
some warranty at all?
It has a year.
One
Oh,
year.
okay, okay, all right, great. All right, great, thanks, Tim. Anything else for Tim, folks?
No.
Okay, Sylvia.
Move that we approve the bid award for an Elgin Pelican street sweeper submitted by C.N. Wood, Inc. of Woburn, Massachusetts, in the amount of $181,693.78, funded through the town's capital improvement plan.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further comments, folks? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Tim. Okay. Last public forum. Anyone out there wishing to be heard? Okay. Scott, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Oh, second. Oh, we haven't.
Oh, goodness. Motion made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.